Hi, this is Meg with Tied to History, and I'd like to show you how I finish historical garments with hand-sewn eyelets. It can be tempting to go grab the grommet setter when you're almost done and have 50 eyelets staring you in the face, but it's not worth it. Grommets weaken the structural integrity of the fabric, and they're not accurate for the period that I'm trying to recreate, which in this case is 16th century Florence. So let's get sewing! Here we have my satana. I've already done some of the eyelets here. The way I figured out the placement for these is by folding this in half after marking the first two, finding the halfway point, finding the halfway point again, and then eyeballing it and seeing that I needed two more in that space because one would be too far apart than the others and it would cause it to be really bunchy and wrinkly when laced. This is the back side, and what I'm going to do here is after I mark these, and I just used pencil, I'm going to gently use my awl to pull apart the threads in the fabric. And I'm not pushing hard and I'm not making a big hole this first pass. Just big enough for us to see it. I take my thread right here and I'm using a pearl cotton in hummingbird purple, which is the same cotton I will be using to weave the laces. I like it when things match. And I'm gonna, tie a knot. Just a quick little slip knot there. And come away, entering and tunneling my needle through and coming up. And I'm not going through to the back. You can see that it's just kind of sandwiched between the layers of fabric here. And I'm coming out just outside that hole that we just pushed through. And pulling, but not tight. Now I'm going to go down through the hole and I'm just going to whip around it real quick. And it doesn't have to be perfect, keeping my stitches about 1/16 of an inch away from the edge of the hole to 1/8 of an inch. And I'm only going to do 5 or 6 stitches around the first time. And, there we go. After that first round, poke that hole, and now we can push it hard. Make it nice and big. And that way our aglet can fit through when we're done. Now I'm going to whip it around again, filling in the blanks spaces between the first round of stitches. And while I'm doing this, the fabric I'm using is a nice lightweight wool, which is the purplish color on top. There is an inner lining of canvas and linen, and a linen lining. It's not a lot, but it will be enough. Hopefully this will be nice and cool for summer. Now, the number of times that you're going to want to go around is going to be different depending on how thick your thread is for the stitches and your fabric type. And you don't want your stitches to be super regular because that will create the same effect that a grommet would and weaken the fabric, and then your eyelet could just pop out. Alright, so I've gone around. I have another gap right here, so I'm just gonna do a few more stitches here. There we go. And nothing special. It's just a whip stitch. I'm going to widen this out again with my trusty awl. And I like this awl that has the pink handle here because it doesn't hurt my hand after doing a ton of eyelets. Now, I've got this tail of thread. I'm going to go through here and underneath the stitches, not through the fabric, but through the stitches, and just tunnel that thread through. And that helps fill in the visual gaps. Now you don't have to do this step, but I like doing it. Plus, it makes it really hard for the eyelet to come undone. So I've tunneled all the way around now. And I'm not going to tie a knot. No knots. I'm going to tunnel back through the fabric this time, leaving a nice long tail inside the fabric. Again, I didn't go through the back layer. There we go. I'm going to pull that a little taut, clip it, and it disappears into the wool. And do the same with the knot. And all done. And with practice, you can get this done in about 5 minutes. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have happy sewing journeys.